Okay, I missed yesterday. I was doing chores, my laundry and all that good stuff. Plus, my pain level was super high yesterday. So, I had to take a muscle relaxer, and with the muscle relaxer, it relaxes like my whole entire mouth, too. So, I would have been speaking nonsense. Not like I don't speak nonsense anyway, but okay, here I am doing the eye thing. And see, you guys can see it pulses. See that? All right, anyway, I do still have dark circles. Let's not even say they're gone, because they're not. They're there. But they used to be a lot more extreme. You ask my husband, they were like epic. He used to think it was just a woman that, you know, has a lot going on and is always constantly going. Because when he first met me, that's how I was. I had 2 jobs and I was going for a third one. And he was like, you know what? Why do you work all these jobs? Then it was summer and I worked all those jobs so that when my daughter was gone, I could, put money aside into my savings account so that I had money for school clothes, money for a trip that her and I would take when she did come back the last couple of weeks before school, and money just in case for emergencies. So, stock the pantry, anything that I needed to do. I always try to make sure that I had 6 months worth of money to pay mortgage and food and basic electricity, water, this kind of stuff. Don't have to pay for garbage if you don't want to here, because the landfill is not too far from here. And when I lived out of town, we live out of town now. We all have burn barrels, so you could burn everything and then just recycle your glass and aluminum. Take it to the town, and they won't charge you if you just donate it to them, and then they do the recycling. So there's always a way in this town to get around paying for a lot of things, service-wise. So when he was with me and I was going to be calling the drag races, he went to the I had no idea it was supposed to be a interview. I just thought I was going to see what my friend did on the weekends. So I showed up, drink in hand, because me and her did drink on our weekends. And she was like, this was supposed to be an interview. Why is John with you? And I'm like, interview? I thought I was just coming to see what you did, to see if I wanted the job. So needless to say, that job interview did not go. And my then boyfriend, now husband, actually knew the other guy. And so I probably could have got the job had I wanted to. But he said, you know what? I really would like to spend some time with you, and you work so much. How am I supposed to get to know you if you're working all the time? So he sat me down at my dinner table and said, I want you to bring out all your bills so I know. And I thought, why would he want me to bring out all my bills? He's like, I just want to know what you have going on. I had no intention of staying here. I was going to sell my house, move to Arizona. I think I've said that. And we sat down and I had my bills and I'm still looking at him. And then he pulls out a checkbook and he paid off all my bills. Except, of course, my mortgage payment which was $685 a month. Nothing. And I was like, I can't pay you back for this. And I don't feel like this is the right thing to do, because this is not how I am. I take care of all my stuff, and I could pay off my bills if I want to with my savings. I just don't do that. I mean, I didn't make minimum payments, and my bills weren't extravagant anyway, but yeah, I paid off my bills. It was like total of about $7,500, but one of them was my car payment. And then he said, good, now you just have one job, and then we can spend the time together. And I didn't feel like I had to stay with him because of that, because I told him too. I said, I'm moving, so I don't understand why you're doing this. Of course, he tells me that he knew I wasn't moving and that he was going to marry me right from the start. Right after he watched me, bake that peach pie for him from scratch and roll the dough out and stuff. And then him and his English bulldog took the peach pie home and they ate it together. The whole pie. He ate a whole peach pie. Crazy guy. He still eats all of my cooking and baking. He loves it. He's not a pie guy anymore, though. He's more of a cupcake guy. He loves cupcakes. Oh, dear Lord. If I ever want to get on his good side, all I have to do is bake. And when he comes home, he's like, damn, I love this. And I'm like, I know you love it, honey. That's why I cook it for you or bake it for you, So, yes, he is a foodie. He's a huge foodie. He loves to eat. I think she did my eyebrows a little uneven. Like, should be a little bit more taken right there, but that's okay. I can fix that when I do my makeup. I don't do makeup except for when me and my husband go out, but we might be going out this weekend. We might be looking at RVs because we are going to start taking our grandson on week-long trips in the summertime to the national state parks and stuff. Because I did that with my grandparents, and I loved it. Learning is fun to me. I know that sounds crazy weird, but it is. I'm like very, very into teaching and reading and all that good stuff with my tinies. I did that with my little girl from the time that she was able to sit up. I used flashcards in front of her face, and now she's got 2 degrees, highly educated, on top of her game. And I did it with my grandson, and he is top of his class, and he can spell, read, add and subtract, and his head, he could do the numbers just like this. And he could do that when he was like 4.5, 5, and now he's 6, and he is the smartest kid in his classroom. It's called flashcards. Trust me. I even had him at around 3.5 with all of his shapes, including hexagons and octagons. He couldn't really say the words, but you could understand what he was trying to say. So, yeah. He's a smarty kid. But I believe in those flashcarding, and their brains are like huge sponges, and they'll just soak it up if you let them. And if you encourage it and you help them. I think that's what a lot of parents are missing, is the helping of them. But I think education and learning is one of those things that you should do right from the beginning. My mother was really adamant about that as well. That's one thing she did really well for us, is that instead of giving us the answers, what the heck is this? A dog hair. Put it on the next thing. Instead of giving us the answers, you know, it was take out the encyclopedia, look it up, sound it out, get the dictionary, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah. Learning is fun. Anyway, this video is just about Wednesday. And Wednesday is finishing up on some cleaning and going for a walk. And this is my third day without sugar, people. Yesterday was so difficult. Today, so far, so good. But yes, I'm detoxing from sugar. It's not fun. But it is mandatory with my lifestyle and my stomach. I had to start taking my ulcer medications because I was so off my track with eating that my stomach was, of course, bleeding. And I knew that because of my excretions in the toilet. So my famotine or famotid, however you pronounce that word, my medication, had to start taking that at night. That's not good because that can make my diverticulitis flare, and then that's like 3 weeks of hell. So, yeah, it's awful. I had to have some of my colon removed, or not, yeah. Well, they had to remove portions. I didn't have a colostomy bag, thankfully, because they were able to do what they needed to do when they got in there, and I didn't have a burst or, you know, a leak. But that was an awful surgery. Awful surgery. That was worse sometimes, I think, than my back surgery. Good Lord. I had a vaginal prolapse, an anal prolapse, a diverticulitis fix, and a hernia fixed. So 4 basic surgeries done by 2 different operating teams, and the total time was like 4 hours or something. It didn't beat my back surgery. My back surgery was 6.5 hours long. But according to them, it takes an hour just to turn you over in the surgery room to do the back, because they start in the front and went through my stomach to do the cages, and then they turn you over to connect the cages and back and put the screws in. So 6.5 hour surgery, and I was in the hospital for a week afterwards and was supposed to go to the rehab center to learn how to, you know, get up, do your things and stuff to proceed to a healthier place. But my mother-in-law came to take care of me for 3 months, so I chose to stay home and do the physical therapist came to the house and stuff. So that's fine. It didn't work anyway, but I was able to start walking again because I was in a wheelchair for 3 months before the surgery because walking was so painful. So, yeah. But anyway, that was my last surgery, was a hiatal hernia repair after the other repairs were all done. So, yeah. Anyway, there's no more surgeries for me. No more. I don't want to have no more surgeries. I've had enough to last a lifetime. 2 lifetimes, actually. All right, we're getting up to that 15-minute mark, and then you know how those things go. But I just wanted to ramble on and say happy Wednesday. Peace out to you guys. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.